What's up, everybody? This is Phat420's Pitstop with Ty and Steve. And, well, as you see, Ty and Steve isn't here. Ty is on vacation, and Steve just decided to go watch a car show during it instead of wait until after. So, with them being gone, producer Adam graciously decided to come on the show as, something to bounce off of and stuff. And this is going to be a special show because we're going to talk about all things nerdy. Because, as I always say, and I keep repeating it, the show is about mental health and also racing. And nerdy stuff helps people with their mental health. I know it does for me, and I would assume it does for Adam as well.
Yeah, especially lately.
So we're going to name this segment. I have a brain fart on it, but producer Adam decided to mention it. What was it again?
Either it could be like around the loop, or we're going to keep you in the loop. It's when we talk about upcoming races, or maybe some of the races that have already completed.
And a recap, and also cancellations. Yes. Speaking of cancellations, Peoria Speedway was one of the tracks that I was going to highlight for people to go to, but unfortunately, due to weather happened last night, they had the track flooded, and also they have no power. So there is that with that, and that was going to be a pretty cool race because it was just a weekly race. It was $15 to get in the usual 5 classes, which was late models, modifieds, B mods, street stocks, and Hornets.
Okay.
So, with that said, that was the rainout one that I'm telling you about. 3 tracks that are going to happen. So if you're in Southern Illinois, like St. Louis, Bellevue, that area, there's a Highland Speedway, which should be coming up on screen here soon. And they don't have a flyer, so I'll just have to scroll through it and read it with you guys. Race day at Highland Speedway. It's a really good track. That's one track I really like to go to because I've seen a lot of video of it. It looks pretty cool. So tonight they're going to have modifieds, pro mods, factory stocks, warriors, Crown Vics, and kids mods. Now, I'm not 100% sure what warriors are, but I'm going to probably say it's going to be something to the effect of maybe either a sportsman or another class of like a stock car, like the factory stock, but just like lower grade.
I know what I would like to see it be. Kind of like a demolition derby race where the rubbing and bumping is really encouraged.
Right. They actually do have some of those, and it's called an enduro race where you basically take your car, you fill it up, you get the biggest gas tank you can, you fill it all the way up, and you just keep racing until you stop. Okay. And the only time they have a red flag is if someone flips. So if you stop in the middle of the track and spin out and get rammed, they keep the race going.
Yep.
So with that said, Highland Speedway, pit gates open at 3, general admission at 5, pill draw, which means they basically grab a number, and then that way they can line you up in your heats and stuff.
Okay.
That's at 5:30. Hot laps at 6. $35 for pit pass, $15 for general admission, which is about average for a track. And they say they have bonus fun, which looks like the junior fan club is hosting a water balloon fight to help us to stay cool in its summer heat. Bring your smiles and get ready to get soaked. So I bet you what they're going to do is take the water truck that they water the track down with,
Yeah.
And then they'll angle the sprayer and spray it up into the crowd, because I've seen videos of that too, other tracks.
That could be fun, especially on a hot day.
Exactly, and it's going to be hot today because in my area, at least, of Peoria, it's supposed to be 88 with a heat index of about 92, but it's supposed to be like 80% humidity.
Ouch.
Yeah. So
in my area, here in Taylorville, it's 77 right now. High of 84. Feels like 76. So
right. So
a little bit of humidity. So
I mean, and even if you want to just take the weekend off and drive down there, because it's roughly about what, a 3 hour drive down Southern Illinois, maybe 5.
depending upon where you're at in the state, or yeah,
State,
just your general location.
and how fast you want to drive.
Yeah,
So,
that's
nevertheless,
true.
the next race is Spoon River. It's not going to be a car race, but it's going to be a flat track motorcycle race.
Those are always exciting because they
Yeah,
get
I've seen a few
so
of those.
close together.
Right. And I remember the
Yeah,
days of like Chris Carr and stuff like that with the Puri TTs, and they do the flat tracks as well.
yeah,
That's going to be a $30,000 purse, which means that's not to the winner, that's all the way down.
yeah. But still, that means that you could come in like you don't have to win to get a nice purse out of it.
Yeah.
You just got to come close.
You'll get some money.
Yeah.
So they're going to have Pro Twins, which is 10,000 to win, and Pro Singles, which is 5,000 to win. What's up, Damn, I can't talk right now. Jeff.
What's up,
Uh,
Jeff?
and they're going to have, it looks like Grand Marshal Dave Hebb, but that's at Peoria Speedway. And I'm going to say, since they don't have a time, it's probably about the same time as the normal tracks start, like 4 or 5 o'clock, and races afterwards. So that's that. And then last but certainly not least, we have Fairbury American Legion Speedway. And that is the huge racing tonight, they say. Saturday, July 12th, I should say, at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway with the second annual Richard Craven Memorial Flow Racing Falls Cup special presented by CR Towing and Recovery. They thank Anthony Craven for putting together a lot of bonuses for the track night, including lap leader bonuses in all 3 Falls Cup class divisions. They're going to have a $5,012 to win with a $300 to start. Falls Cup late models, and when they say $300 to start, basically you can run 2 to 3 laps,
Okay.
and then if you don't think you're doing any good, you can pull in, and you get $300.
Awesome.
And $2,012 to win for the mods, and then $1,012 to win for the stock cars, and then they have hobby mods. Hobby mods, basically you get a trophy.
Oh, a participation trophy.
It's basically they're making it as a starter class.
Okay. Maybe to get younger kids in?
Younger kids, starting adults that want to get into racing, because with the hobby mods, they basically you got to run a chip, like an RPM chip, and then it has to be a crate motor. So, but the cool thing is that chassis and all the other stuff you use.
Yeah.
If you're doing good in that and you want to move up, you can actually take that and just change the motor and maybe a gear and some shocks, and you can move up to the modifieds.
Awesome.
So, yeah, again, see, it says right there, the hobby mod drivers, you have to have 3 link and 6,000 chip, no spoilers, and conform to a shock rule. So, again, like I said, the shocks and the chip and everything. Modified drivers need to register for the Prairie Dirt. No, they're just saying other things. So tonight it's $20 to get in, $40 for pit passes. Kids 12 and under, $15 for the pit. But if your kid's 12 and under, you get in free. So it's a cheap way to entertain your family.
Yeah, cheap family fun.
$20 a piece for the adults, which is $40. And if you have 2 or 3, 6, or in Adam's case, 7 kids,
yeah,
you get 7 kids in for free, right? And I've had the food there. The food there is pretty decent priced. It's not like overabundance, like a bottle of water and the soda's like $2. The sandwiches are like $2 to $3. Things of that nature. So
apparently, according to Jeff, they have free camping too.
Yes, free camping as well.
So
They have a back place where you can bring your camp and you can camp, and that's the cool thing about Fairbury is it's like if you want to go to a race and get totally sloshed, snockered, drunk, just camp.
Yeah.
So gates open at 2. Registration for it opens at 3:30. Drivers meeting 5:30. Hot laps qualifying at 6. Racing to follow. And this will be a full Fairbury points night as well.
Okay.
So, like I said, Fairbury is a good track to race on. And speaking of Fairbury and racing, they are actually in some video games as well for tracks.
Really?
Yeah. For instance, a mobile game called Dirt Tracking.
Okay.
It has it. It's for mobile devices. It's really cool. The first because there's 3 out now for it.
Okay.
So there's Dirt Tracking 1, Dirt Tracking 2, Dirt Tracking 3. They also have a Dirt Tracking sprint car, but sounds like that's just going to be a one-shot deal. But they have that track in that video game, and it's really cool. And the cool thing about that one is they also have 2 versions of the track. They have a feature track, and they have like a start of the race night track.
Okay.
And the difference between those 2 is the feature track has it looking slick, and it makes it feel like you're in slick, and it's a little bit darker for the scenery and stuff. And yes, Jeff, I was just about to say that too. Yeah, it's on World of Outlaws on your PlayStation and Xboxes, and actually it's also on PC as well.
Okay.
So that's another cool race. What? And like I said, this is a special show because we're going to talk about things nerdy, and that's why we're starting to talk a little bit about video games. So with video games, I decided to, and Adam did as well, decided to look up top 10 video games of all time.
Yep.
So
yeah, this is the list that we have according to AI.
yeah.
So, take that for whatever it's worth.
Right. It has a lot of good games on there, like GTA 5. I play a lot of. I play now the World of Warcraft. I played when it was just called Warcraft.
Yeah. Now I played World of Warcraft. Geez, it's been like 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been before I had kids.
Right, because
So
those 2 games that I just mentioned are games if you're single and bored and have nothing else to do. If you play those games, you'll be busy for hours. Because
yeah, you can.
One of the video games that I'm sure is on the list is Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right?
Yeah, right there in the middle. So, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Oh, I see it. There you go,
Yep.
on the left side, middle.
Yep.
So, with that said, when the Legendary Edition came out, not the vanilla. See, with the thing is with vanilla, I look at vanilla as anything that is not mods and DLCs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know the new Skyrims with their editions automatically come with it, but you still have to download them to your computer or Xbox or whatnot.
Yeah.
So with that said, I bought it, went home, and it was like about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, right?
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to load this. I'm going to play it till Saturday Night Live comes on. Okay. I'm playing it, and all of a sudden I hear, I look outside and I see light. I looked at the clock. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I played that thing almost 8 to 10 hours straight. And the only thing I can think of is people be like, "Oh, didn't you go to the bathroom or anything?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. During the load screens, I'd go to the bathroom or get a drink and get snacks or whatever I did, and then come back and play the game because it was just because I'm and this is another thing we're going to talk about too is movies. I'm in a lot of the sci-fi movies like Mad Max and Game of Thrones and jive like that. So when I start to play Skyrim, I'm like enthralled in it because it's nothing but medieval stuff, and I'm big into medieval stuff. I'm a nerd for medieval stuff. So, nevertheless, and also I'm more of a, for better lack of terms, geriatric gamer, or a very old school gamer because I grew up in the '80s and I was born in the '70s, so I was like Atari, ColecoVision, Intellivision, Jive systems like that.
Yeah.
So probably not a lot of my games that I like are on there, but I have played the majority of these games that they're showing on this list. Now, like I said, I liked the Grand Theft Auto. I played that. I love that. The crazy thing about that is, with that game, for me, a lot of times lately, instead of doing the quest, I'll go real late at night when the hookers start coming out, and I'll sit up on a building or something, and I'll take my sniper rifle and sniper them, just so I can walk over them and get the free cash from them, because usually when you kill someone in the game, there's like a little bit of cash there. Or I would actually go and get with the hooker, and then after they take my money and they're walking away, I'd sniper them and then get my money back.
You were just trying to get the second hour free.
Yeah, basically. Kind of like what Steve does with a dead hooker in a hotel.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there any of them on there that you've seen that you've played a lot of or anything?
I've played a little bit of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Uh-huh.
I'm like you, I've played a lot of Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Like, I don't know, the amount of time I've spent in that game, it probably borders on unhealthy.
I get it.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII and all of its iterations. Super Mario World, going back to Super Nintendo.
Yes, that was another game I played the snot out of at my uncle's house.
Yeah.
He didn't have it, the Super Nintendo, but what he'd do is when I'd come over for the weekend, he would actually rent out the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then we'd rent a few games, and then we'd play the games that day, and then the next day we would return the games and then grab another few games. And we played like it was a version of Mario Kart, but it wasn't Mario Kart. Like the 64, Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
But maybe it was Mario Kart, but it was some kind of racing game we played.
Yeah, I remember playing Mario Kart 64, but you get your friends involved and you do like the versus mode where you're trying to pop
where one's
balloons
on top of the other, the screen.
Yeah. So you fill it up with like 3 of your friends and you're just kicking the crap out of each other with shells and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and another classic game I see on the list is Tetris, which I played quite a bit of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that people our age or older have probably played at least a game of Tetris. And, I mean, it went really huge when it came out on the original Game Boy, when it was bundled with it.
I kind of wish this list was actually in order instead of just showing the list,
Yeah. I know.
But it's still cool to know that their AI's version of the top video games of all time. Okay, there's another one I played the snot out of, mainly on the computer. It was Doom.
Yeah.
I love playing Doom. Welcome in, Ty. How's the vacation?
Oh, I love it, man. We went swimming. We're at the swim park now. Am I too loud? Is it too loud?
No, you're fine.
It's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Braxton's having a blast. We had some bad storms last night, so we had to stay inside. So, but today we're outside. But yeah, I just figured I'd pop in, say what's up.
Okay.
So, what is your, besides the racing game that I know you play all the time, what is your favorite racing game?
What was my favorite racing game?
Or I should say, favorite video game in general, besides the racing game that you always
besides racing game?
yeah.
I really liked Warzone.
Uh-huh.
I play a lot of simulation games, so like Farm Simulator.
Oh, that's right. I remember us talking about that the other day when you came over.
I downloaded a Blue Angels thing where you get to do their maneuvers and stuff.
Oh, wow.
But it's like really hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like a flight simulator.
Yeah,
Blue Angels edition or something like that.
Yeah. I miss the old Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
I remember playing that one all the time too.
Yeah.
That was
Zoo
another good one.
Tycoon.
Zoo
Yeah.
Tycoon. They have. And speaking of Sims, you know how they have Sim City. They also have Sim Farm, Sim Ant, and
Yeah.
I actually went to a thrift store a while back, long time ago, and they actually had the Sim Farm. And it's basically the basis of Sim City, but you do all the farming stuff. Yeah. So other ones on that is Minecraft. It seems like a lot of adults are playing that now, but when I first heard about it, it was like a very much kid game. Like my nephew played it all the time, the building portion of it.
Yeah.
Because his mom didn't want him to play the killing of, the characters on there. She just wanted him to build. So when I found out he did that, I actually went out for my 360 and bought it so that way I can connect with him a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I played that one. The Final Fantasies I played, I haven't really played any of the newer ones. Like I said, I'm a more old school gamer, so I played the ones on Nintendo.
Yeah.
So basically the first, 3 Final Fantasies?
Well, you had the first Final Fantasy on Nintendo. Then you had, here in the U.S., you had Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 on Super Nintendo.
Okay, that's what it was. It was Super Nintendo I did it on.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are actually in my top 10.
Right.
Because those are just the ones I remember playing so much of as I was growing up. So.
And then the Mortal Kombat, I didn't really play it on the system, but I played it in the arcade game all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Sorry, my kid came up. He's like, "Take my shirt off." Okay.
It happens.
Well, we forgot to take his shirt off and put on the life jacket. And he's like, "I forgot to take my shirt off." Yeah, we sure did.
Hey, you're having fun, so that's all that counts, right?
Yeah, we're like you said, we're having a pretty good time. But going back to games, like I remember Minecraft first came out, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just not for me. I didn't care for it. My son talks about it all the time because he likes watching like kid YouTube
videos of them doing it,
and he just watches people play games, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
why are we watching people play video games?
Okay, now admittedly, like even recently, there's something called Games Done Quick. And they did their thing, I guess, like 2 days ago. So I found myself watching a Super Metroid race between two high-level players, just watching them go. And because there's competition, but they're friendly, they sit like right next to each other while they play.
Yeah.
Right.
And, well, like during COVID, there was no racing going on,
Yeah.
So they would actually have sim racing. And they would actually televise it, like on ESPN. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I watched it because it was fun to listen to all the commentation and all that. So
right,
yeah.
And I'll admit that I actually do as well. But I watch, and the reason why I watch it is because, like I say, I like Skyrim, right, or the Elder Scrolls in general.
Yeah.
I watch them so that way I can see if there's something that they're doing that I haven't done yet or didn't think of doing.
Yeah.
So when I go to play it, so it's basically like Intel or something like that is the reason why I watch them.
Yeah.
Like there's this one guy on there called ESO. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've heard of him, Adam.
Yes, I have.
He
I've
does
watched
a lot.
quite a few of his videos. Actually.
Yeah, he does a lot of like walkthroughs and stuff,
Mhm.
and also sometimes does a little bit of gameplay. But yeah, that's one. I've dabbled a little bit in BioShock. I've done pretty much almost all of it, with the exception of on the Switch, the Legend of Zelda games. And the cool thing about Zelda is also, and I know I'm repeating back to Skyrim, but again, it's my favorite game. And
Yeah.
It seems like it's one of the more for Bethesda's, and it's not Bethesda anymore, right?
No,
I think it's still Bethesda.
Bethesda got bought by Microsoft, but
Yeah.
they still retain, the name and stuff
Name
like
Bethesda.
that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
with that said, on the Skyrim version on the Switch, and this is how it ties into Zelda, is you get Link's armor and weapons
Yeah.
in the Switch version of Skyrim.
Yeah, you actually go up to the place called the Throat of the World, and around a corner there's now a cave with a white chest, and you get the Master Sword, you get the Hylian Shield, and you get the Champion's Tunic.
Right.
So I used to play Fable.
Yeah.
Fable was another one I played a little bit.
Yeah.
My uncle was very big into that one.
And then God of War. When
That's
God
on
of War
this-
came out.
Yeah, that's on this list as well.
I played, like, if you're talking games like that, that's the two that I really played. I'm trying to think if I played any. I tried, I think it's called like Two Worlds
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I tried that one. I think I'm too stupid to play it.
I
like,
tried to play it too, and it was one of those. It's just not pulling me in.
no, yeah.
So just take it out and play something
Another
else.
another one I didn't notice that was on this list, and it's a Super Nintendo game, but 007.
Oh,
Yeah. No, that was
It was
Nintendo
basic-
64.
No,
Yeah.
it's 64. Okay.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, it was 64 because,
GoldenEye,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I thought that was kind of weird. That's not on there because I've read that that's pretty much almost like, besides Duck Hunt, that was pretty much like one of the first-person shooter type games, even before Call of Duty and stuff like
Well,
that.
You had GoldenEye, and you had Halo.
Yeah, whole Halo, man. That was my shit.
Halo, yeah.
Yep. So chances are, if you were big into Halo and you had access to GoldenEye, you were playing that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, before Ty come on, I'm more of an old school gamer because I was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s. So
Yeah.
it's Atari.
So Pong?
Pong, yeah, Pong. No, I did play Pong, but I mainly played like Atari games like Frogger, Pitfall, Adventure, E.T.
I owned E.T.
Right?
and played it, and it's just it was awful.
Of course,
Do you like Croc?
Pac-Man,
I think it's called like Croc or something like that. You're a crocodile or something like that.
Oh,
I played it on my
yeah,
Game
yeah.
Boy.
Oh yeah, there's Game Boy games. With the
Yeah.
Game Boy games, I pretty much did, like Mario and some kind of. I think there was some racing game that I played.
I like
can't remember
Killer
the name.
Instinct.
Nice.
That was on
nice.
Super Nintendo. Killer Instinct.
So, racing games. I played RC Pro Am,
Yes, I remember that one.
And-
I love
and-
that one.
and I also played Super Sprint on Nintendo.
Right. Oh, and there is a drag racing game called Dragster on Atari as well. And basically, it's just you don't even use the controller; it's just the button,
Okay.
and you use the button to start, and then you had to use the button to go the gears. And if you
Okay.
hold the button down too long, it'll blow up the motor because it has the rev meter on it.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Yeah.
there's just a bunch of 80s games, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's kind of cool how there still are to a degree, but like they're actually making like mods for certain game systems and stuff to where that you can actually buy a chip with like every single Atari game. That's including the 2600, the 5200, the Jaguar. Then they also have all the Sega game systems and all the PlayStation game systems, and have the 100,000 games, and it's like you can play it all at once. And that's what I love about it, because some of these systems are non-existent anymore, or if they are, there's a bunch of work that has to be done to it, and it's some people it's more convenient just to get that modded.
Yeah, just don't play them on your Switch 2.
Right. Or else you basically get.
Well, what's crazy is like you go back and you play these like Super Nintendo games and Nintendo 64 games, and then you go to your like PS5 or the new Xbox, and you're like, wow, how did I ever play those games over there?
Hey, I'm doing the same thing.
The graphics are so bad.
Right, and I'm doing the same thing with Skyrim because I also have it on my computer, right?
Right.
So sometimes when I don't go, like when I go to my 360 and play Skyrim, I'll put it on here, and it's like just so much more color and and things of that nature, and I can actually see for a good headshot with my crossbow now instead of guessing.
Well, it's like the wrestling games. Like, remember the old wrestling games where the face was just like a square on there, but the newer ones look like real people. It's funny. It's like, how did I ever play these graphic games?
And the crazy thing about that is because with the wrestling games, especially the newer ones for WWE 2K and all those, I believe it's Karrion Kross that does pretty much all the moves. He went into the studio and put on the suit that you can like
the CGI suits.
Yeah.
And he actually did pretty much everybody's moves. So when you play that game and you do those moves and you see the other people do the moves, it's actually him doing the moves and not the actual Brock Lesnar or Eddie Guerrero or things of that nature. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So so Adam said he had a list. So what is your list?
So I did top 10 video games of my lifetime.
Right.
Like the ones that when
you
I look
liked
back,
a lot and played, and
the ones that I remember losing so much time in. So my number 10, it's like the first game I really went hard into, and that was Contra for Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
like,
I forgot about that one.
I got to the point where I didn't need the Konami code, and I could beat the game and have 5 guys.
Right.
Even though you start with 3.
How far into that game did you play it before you found out about the Konami code? Or did you know about it right away?
Well, I'd gotten to like level 2, that weird hallway that you go down.
Okay.
But didn't understand that if you press up, you shock yourself on the electric fence.
Right.
So, yeah, died pretty often there. So, once you get, like one of my friends got Nintendo Powers back then.
Mm-hmm.
And he found the code, and then we tried it out. And, we got to, I think it was like level 7 was the hangar. And we got there, and then there's a glitched thing that just comes down over and over and over.
I know it's random.
It's like, man, if you get trapped behind it, you're gonna die.
Right.
But we got to that, and for the first time after the code, and
no, I actually did play that a lot more on the arcade version.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't really do the Konami code, but I still played it. So.
Yeah. let's see, number 9, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Another great one. I actually
Yeah.
have that for the 360.
I actually got it for my Switch when
Nice.
they re-released the 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 8, Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Yes, I love Oblivion. Almost, and the thing I liked about Oblivion was the storylines.
Yeah.
The play was, but the crazy thing about that one is I started playing it and I started going for one quest, and all of a sudden I ended up doing the Shivering Isles
Yeah.
DLC of it, because being in Skyrim, I'm going backwards because I played Skyrim first and then Oblivion.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I realized that the Shivering Isles was the whole storyline for the backstory behind Sheograph.
Yep.
So that's why I started doing that, because it's like he started doing his little quirks and everything and his little one-liners and everything. I'm like, this is gold. I love this. Even if it's just hearing him doing his lines, it's so funny,
Yeah.
So yeah, Oblivion's another good one. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't like how some of the enemies leveled up with you. I hated Will-o'-the-Wisps.
yeah,
Absolutely hated them. But it's okay.
and the one other thing I didn't like about Oblivion was the over incumbents.
Yeah.
Basically, when you get over encumbered, you couldn't move at all.
Yeah.
Whereas at least in Skyrim, you can move, but it's super slow. But there's also glitches or secrets for those. Like you can use the fast speed shot. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's where you shout and you get the wooden to cast. I think it
Whirlwind Sprint.
Whirlwind Sprint. That's right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I found out, and it was actually a friend of mine, because they knew I loved playing it, so they're wanting to kind of connect with me, so that way they can understand why I love to play it.
Yeah.
So they were looking up online, and they're like, "Oh, did you know if you're encumbered, you can use your crossbow or your bow to walk a little bit faster?" I'm like, "No, I did not."
So what you do is, if you're over encumbered, get into sneak mode, then draw your bow, and you walk faster.
Yes. And so I know this is a kind of rabbit trail back to Skyrim, but with Skyrim, I have another glitch to where you can carry a whole bunch more stuff. So when you go to do the Sarana quest, make sure you have a follower with you. Okay. So when you do that, you also start having Sarana as a follower.
Yeah.
So if you get close to being over encumbered, then you can just start giving them stuff.
Yep. So there's another companion type of glitch, but it also allows you to duplicate items. Right in, have any companion you want with you. Right inside of Whiterun's gate, you drop an item of something, and you can do this with gold bars or weapons or whatever.
Right.
But if you drop it, tell your companion to pick it up, then fast travel somewhere else, fast travel back to Whiterun. Your item will still be there.
Oh, really?
And then as long as you're having your companion pick it up off the ground, it doesn't weigh them down.
I need to start doing that with the Daedric hearts and the scales and the bones for the dragon bones.
Yeah, I started doing that with, as odd as it sounds, with iron ore, because with the transmute spell, you can turn iron ore to silver and turn silver to gold.
Gold, yeah.
So, but if you duplicate the iron ore or silver ore, then have them pick it up and then do that over and over.
Now,
you can make massive amounts of gold ingots and then turn those into... I turn them generally into rings so that then I can enchant the rings.
Right.
So you're leveling up a bunch of different stuff.
Because what I like to do is take the ebony arrows,
Yeah.
and then also the Daedric hearts, and then make tons of the Daedric arrows.
Yeah.
That's good for me to know. So, so what else is on your list there?
Sorry, guys. It was starting to kind of storm outside.
It's understandable.
Now, I don't expect you guys to know this game, but my next one on my list is Star Ocean 2.
Okay.
It's a Japanese RPG about a guy who essentially gets pulled from his own planet and he's trying to get back and comes across a bunch of other characters. And yeah, there's just so much you can do in that game. And it's so easy to get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I have Fable 2.
Mm.
I didn't really get into Fable 1 that much. I tried, but Fable 2, oh.
Right, you really got into it.
Yeah, and then plus with the multiplayer aspect in that game too, you know, playing alongside of people on the Xbox 360, people would help each other out getting all the weapons or, you know, finding all the gargoyles, figuring out the living doors and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. After that, I have Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6 Global. Just the storyline was so massive.
Right.
And then the amount of people you could recruit was awesome. So you had a bunch of different, you know, like you had Edgar and Sabin, the twins, who one remained to be the king, one left and became a very strong monk. And that storyline, how that ended up happening, is really funny if you actually go through the whole process of it. After that, it's Fable 3. That was pretty good. It was a little different.
Sounds like you're a big Fable fan.
I am. There were some on my list. I wanted to put others on it as well, but I tried to keep it to 10.
Right.
Is it just me, or do you guys hear the music?
Yeah,
I still hear music.
Yeah, I left it on.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're fine.
We're good.
It's okay.
Kind of eliminate the silence.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Yeah, so after Fable 3, I had to go Fallout New Vegas.
Yes.
I still play that game. It is so much fun to just destroy the crap out of it.
Speaking of Fallout, when the Fallout 64 is it called?
Fallout 76.
Or Fallout 76, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
There's so much crap about that they actually put the original Fallout on Steam for free.
Yeah.
And I downloaded that and I played that, and that was pretty good. I got into it a little bit. I need to play it a little bit more, but it was kind of confusing at first on how to do some things, but once I found out how, so it has a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah,
because it's a top-down type game. So, what else you got?
After that, I have Final Fantasy VII. All of its iterations, whether it's regular Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, or just the entire series that they've created around that story, I enjoyed. But my number one, and I think this is the same as 420, my number one has got to be Skyrim because of the amount of time I have sunk into it. I do find myself often falling back into the stealth archer role.
Yeah, I do that too, because I'll do I'll put on the heavy armor and I'll do the two-handed, swords and battle axes, and then I end up being like a stealth archer. But with a light armor, and if I'm close combat, it's two-handed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of times I'll have one hand. It depends on what I'm fighting. Like if it's just like regular like beings and not like animals or dragon.
Yeah.
One is like a not a long sword, but like a Daedric sword or something.
Yeah.
Or both of them are Daedric swords, but one is enchanted with health, and the other one is enchanted with stamina.
Okay.
So that way, whenever I'm hitting them with it, I'm getting their health and stamina back, while even though mine's getting depleted sometimes.
Yeah. My usual combination for enchantments is the flaming soul trap they get from Ironbind Barrow.
That's another good one, yeah.
And then from Solstheim getting the chaos damage enchantment.
Nice,
so
nice.
You have a 50% chance of either fire or ice or I believe lightning, but they all proc separately. So they can all three hit at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then the other sword I use is the dragon sword. Basically, it hurts the dragon more.
Okay, so
and then I'll do health, and then the dragon sword.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the dragon rend to get him down on the ground, and then I'll switch to the swords, and then I'll.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's my list. Now, I would have loved to have added the Outer Worlds, which is what I'm currently playing.
Outer Worlds is another good one. Yes.
Outer Worlds 2 comes out October 29th of this year.
Nice, nice.
Another game that I've actually really enjoyed, even though Phat420's talked a lot of smack about it, is Avowed. It's like I really enjoy that game. But you know, it's okay to not agree on what games are good or not. So
I used to play the crap out of Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo's another good one, yes.
I found myself getting lost in Diablo 3 when I play.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my list and honorable mentions.
So
anyone else have a list?
Okay, like I said, mine is basically Skyrim, of course, in number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 would probably be actually Oblivion, because I'm big into the medieval type ones.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably have to go all the way back to Atari 2600 with Pitfall.
Okay.
Then also 26, again, I'm telling my age. 2600 again with, actually, I played Barnstormer a lot on there.
Okay.
Where you're in an airplane and you just basically go up and down, like you have to go over like the windmills, and then you got to go down, and you got to go through the barn to get points, and then go up and down, stuff like that. That's 4. 5 would probably be GTA 5.
Okay.
6 would be Doom, as I said. 7 would be Duke Nukem 3D. 8 would be, I mean, like Adam's saying, there's so many video games I can think of.
Yeah, there are a lot of games that got left off my list.
I would say for 8, pretty much any form of dirt track racing type game, like Dirt to Daytona, World of Outlaw, the Rat Bag ones.
Oh, the 2002 one?
Yeah, those. And 10 would probably be... I'd say Sim City or some kind of sim game. Kind of like what Ty was saying, like he liked the farm one and the Blue Angels one. So that would probably be my rough top 10.
Okay.
And speaking of video games, one of them that I didn't see on the list was Star Wars. Not only for the
Well,
Atari 2600, but there's so many on the Nintendo. There's so many on the PlayStations and Xbox. And
I just don't think they had one that really did, like, really well. I mean, Knights of the Old Republic went really hard. Like,
right.
But past that, you don't really hear much.
Right.
I like the one. I think it was called Force Unleashed
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mhm.
I played that one. I also played the Lego one too. That one was fun.
Yeah, that was another one I played with my nephew. Was the Star Wars Lego.
Yeah.
That was
So
fun.
speaking of Lego and Star Wars, let's go ahead and actually do the toys this time. I know Adam and I talked about doing another one, but I figured talking about toys would tie in a little bit more with the video games. So let's like the top 10.
Yep.
or
I
so.
do have a top 10 for this.
All right,
according
before you
to
guys start
AI.
that, I'm gonna take off, guys. So
All right, have a good one. Have a good vacation, man.
yeah,
Have
we'll
fun,
see
See
you.
you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to say my top 5 toys, even though there's 10. So basically, I've always liked Lego, of course.
Yeah.
I like my Star Wars figures. I like I guess I could go top 10. G.I. Joe,
Yeah.
Transformers, Thundercats. I mean, they're even showing Hot Wheels for some reason on a list that I have. I guess maybe because some of their cars look futuristic.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's on the list. And this ties into Star Wars as well. Lightsabers. I have 4 different
yeah.
lightsabers.
I mean, it's as a guy, sometimes it's hard to even like not pick up a stick and either pretend it's a lightsaber,
you're a lightsaber.
or a sword.
Medieval sword.
know.
On this list, I also seen was Doctor Who, which big sci-fi. You know, like you can get like
the sonic screwdriver.
Exactly.
Or I've seen some people have like mini refrigerators that look like the TARDIS.
And speaking of TARDIS, I actually did see a video of this one guy who he did a house, and he had a TARDIS.
Yeah.
And it was actually a TARDIS, and it opened up into a secret room to make it look like it's
bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, oh, well, there's a TARDIS. Open up the door, and then it'd be like, oh, there's a room right there.
Yeah.
So what other toys does it show on your list?
Okay, so the toys on my list, let's face it, me and you are never going to have. These are almost like movie props.
Right.
So, I mean, we have things like, of course, lightsabers from Star Wars, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the first edition of Dune, the book, the TARDIS from Doctor Who, a Xenomorph from Alien, for some reason it says the Alien chest burster scene. I don't know how that can be a collectible. Thanks, AI. The original Star Trek Enterprise model. I could see how that would be kind of cool. The first edition of the book, 1984.
Nice.
The blaster pistol from Blade Runner. And a spacesuit from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
And even if you want to go with blasters, you also got some of the blasters from Star Wars.
Yeah. You have Han's blaster. You have some of the stormtroopers.
The Boba Fett rifle blaster.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a whole bunch of toys and stuff. There's so many. And that's what I love about my area is because I literally now have 3 to 4 comic book and collectible stores out there that have all these things, and I'm like a kid in a candy store when I go to these things because even though I don't buy anything, it's just so cool just to walk around
Yeah.
and see all these toys. Be like, oh, I remember that toy as a kid. Oh, I wish I still had that toy. And even right now for toys, and this is a really cool story. When I was like 10, maybe still not a double digit yet, maybe 8
Yeah.
to 10. One Christmas, my grandparents, my mom's parents, got me these two huge boxes. Well, they're huge to me,
Yeah.
as a kid. And I was wanting to open those first because, as a kid, you're like, big present. It's going to be something huge, right?
Right.
Well, my grandma said, those are the last ones you're going to open. I'm like, why? So I opened everything up, and then when it finally got down to the last two, and she's like, okay, you can open up both at the same time.
Okay.
So I did that, and these were like 3-foot boxes by about a foot to 2-foot square boxes,
Okay.
chocked full of Star Wars. I had millions of figures, millions of the X-Wing fighters, TIE fighters, the Doctor spaceship.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact name, but you know what I'm talking about, where it looked like a big turd or a doobie.
Yeah.
That one. I had the Darth Vader carrying case for your things, and
I remember that.
Things of that nature. And it was like, and now I might have a box like a tote this big full of them because I play with them so much that I'd like bury them or blow them up, or as kids we did stuff like that. So
yeah, like I remember strapping action figures to bottle rockets.
Right.
see how fast they'll go down the street, or high in the air they'll go.
Right. I had tons of He-Man and G.I. Joe and and stuff like that. And it's like, again, as kids, we just played with them so much that we'd either lose them or just somehow they just disappeared. Who knows?
I remember as a kid always wanting, and these are Transformers, always wanting the space shuttle Transformer, like the huge one, and then wanting the construction one where it was a bunch of robots that turned into the large robot.
Yes.
It's like I remember wanting those so bad.
Constructicons.
Yep.
Constructicons are so cool.
Yeah.
I think if with that one, I rather prefer myself to have the Dinobot one.
Yeah, Dinobots were really cool too, but there was something about having all these construction ones that turn into the giant robot.
Right.
I
had Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, the one Astro Train.
Okay.
I had. It wasn't Starscream, but it was one of the other jets.
Okay.
I can't remember the name offhand. Then I had one that was a Jeep.
Okay.
Jeep guy. And what was the other one I had? I had one other one. But I still played with all those all the time. Yeah. And the cool thing about it was I actually had the Optimus Prime with the trailer.
Okay.
Where it folded out and had the little thing that come out. And
I always remember my oldest brother had the original Megatron that turned into the pistol.
Right.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
And the crazy thing about all this is I actually had a friend, and he was the only kid, right?
Yeah.
And his parents got a divorce. So whenever I went over to his house, I'm not joking, the basement was his playroom. There was nothing else in the basement but all of his toys. He had the G.I. Joe battleship. He had like 2 or 3 of the planes, and then he had the Cobra Commander base.
Okay.
He had a whole bunch of Star Wars and Transformers stuff. He had like the partial Death Star, and he had the Jabba the Hutt scene, and it was just. I think mainly because I liked him because he had all those toys that I wished I had, and that's why I went over. But we ended up still being pretty good friends. So
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, toys. They're expensive now for a lot of them, especially some of those older ones. And if I had $1 million, I'd probably buying a lot of them myself.
Yeah. Well, we would know because your walls behind you would be stacked to the ceiling with collectible items.
And the thing
Whether
is,
whether
I
it's
would
toys or from racing or whatever, we would know.
Right, yeah. Because actually, that's a shelf that I got up there. I got my wrestling figure. You can't see it off screen, but I got my wrestling figures up there because that's another toy that I always liked a lot. And so with Star Wars, that's pretty cool. So we'll do this final segment for movies, sci-fi movies of all time, nerdy movies. The main nerdy movie, and it's not a sci-fi movie, is, of course, I'm sure most of us seen it, is Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
And a TV show that I really liked was it's called Throne of Games.
Throne of Games. Okay.
And basically the gist behind it is it's like Big Brother but for nerds.
Okay.
Where they did all nerdy type of games. And then they got voted off and everything. And then every week they would pronounce a king or queen of the nerds. And then you would go to this throne that was made out of controllers and lightsabers and everything, and you got to be the king or queen. And, like one of the things they did on that show was they did one because Harry Potter was popular at the time, right?
Right.
So basically they did this big long line, and you got to ride this thing that looked like their brooms.
Yeah.
And then they just went through there, and you had to go through, and then you had to like grab rings, and then at the very end, towards the end, before it stopped, you had the Quidditch ball that was bouncing up and down. You had to grab it before you passed it. And
Okay.
so those are a couple, nerdy. So, but again, sci-fi is part of nerddom. So, what out of all of these that I think I see, I think we have the same one. Yeah, we have the same one. Alien, Terminator, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Matrix, Blade Runner. I haven't seen the Metropolis one yet.
Yeah, either have I.
Back to the Future, Planet of the Apes, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I kind of remember that one, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said earlier in the day with the video games, is E.T.
Yeah.
Of course, Mad Max. Mad Max was my favorite one, again, because I'm the medieval and there's a term for it, the end of the world type of.
Yeah, apocalyptic.
There you go. Thank you. There's Star Trek, Star Wars, Inception, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which I really like. The Thing I really like. Dune. Oh my goodness. I remember first seeing Dune as a kid. I love that. And my dad said afterwards, after we watched it, because I actually got to see it in the theaters.
Okay.
And
that would have taken forever.
Right. And my dad said after the movie theater, he was talking to me. He says, "How do you like the Dune movie?" I'm like, "I really like it a lot." He's like, "I know." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Your eyes were glued to that screen the whole time and did not look away." And the same thing way it was, and it's not a nerdy movie, Batman. Well, I guess it is kind of a nerdy movie because it, ties into sci-fi a hair bit. But the original Batman with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That was another movie that my dad said that my eyes were like affixed to the screen the whole time and did not move around. Because he actually got me a drink and popcorn and everything, and he said I did not touch my popcorn and drink the whole time. Because I was like,
It was a good movie.
Another one, I don't understand why, but I think I read into it a hair bit, is Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
According to the link that's a part of this list that we have, it says it's a England of the future, so I kind of see why it's sci-fi because it's futuristic.
Yeah.
This Alex and his dogs, which is basically his friends, spend the night getting high at some place before embarking on a little old ultra violence. Basically, they go and fight. Kind of like that movie where you got free reign for 24 hours.
Oh, like The Purge.
The Purge, yes. Thank you. And so I kind of see how it is because it's futuristic, but I didn't see it as futuristic. I just seen it as a cool, like, not coming of age, but kind of like the Outsiders, but not the Outsiders or the Warriors
Okay.
type of movie myself. It's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I loved it
Yeah.
because it had that, vibe for those previous ones I mentioned. What movies do you think of that might not be on this list?
That might not be on that.
Yeah, if you've written them down.
Yeah, let me pull up my movie list here, because I'll be honest, I kind of copped out on this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love the original Star Wars trilogy, so kind of lump them together as like 1 to 3.
Right. Yeah, I get that because they're all good.
Yeah,
I love them all too myself.
I was one of the odd people who actually enjoyed the prequels to that as well.
Yeah, I did. I like the prequels.
So I enjoyed those. I did not like seeing what Disney did to Star Wars.
The 7 through 9.
Yeah.
I like the prequels because it gave the backstory and it gave more insight to the original 3.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
I mean, probably the only thing I would have liked to have seen from the prequels was that maybe Jar Jar was a Sith.
Yes, because that's a fandom thing that I think is, and I can see how it is.
Yeah.
Because he's acting so stupid, they don't think he would be one.
Yeah.
And how did he know a lot of the stuff he did and be in places that he did that you wouldn't think he would be able to get to?
Yeah, I mean, this guy was a fool who was exiled out of his own village and became a part of the Galactic Senate.
Right.
I mean...
And how would you be a part of the Galactic Senate if you weren't part of a Sith or, have insider knowledge?
Now, according to canon, what happened to Jar Jar was he ended up going back to Tatooine and was a clown or fool and ended up getting shot. Now, that doesn't really sit well with me. He could have made a really good Sith Lord, but it just wasn't there enough. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it.
With Star Wars, though, I've been really getting into a lot of the comics and books because I like to know more of the backstories or more of a fandom story to it.
Yeah.
And I got into Darth Revan a lot because he was like the Jedi that was a great Jedi and then ended up being a Sith Lord, so to speak.
Yeah. I know a lot of people wanted to see Revan come back to the Jedi Temple as a Jedi, and show that you could get out of the dark side.
Right.
And I think that would have went pretty well with him. It would have gave him like a, of course now I'm going to brain fart the name. Samuel L. Jackson's character. It would've gave
Oh,
that
yeah. I
aspect
know what you're talking about.
where, yeah, he would have had control over light and dark side,
right.
and you don't get much more badass in that in that universe than that.
Well, when you got Samuel L. Jackson coming on as a Star Wars character, and you know how good of an actor he's in all of his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Hey, I want my lightsaber to be purple," you're going to let him have his lightsaber be purple,
Yeah, because I remember Samuel L. Jackson talking about this on a late show. He was just like, I told George Lucas I wanted a purple one in order for me to play it. And George is like, well, we usually just do blue or green or red. And he's like, no, I want a purple one. So he had to shape the story around why he has a purple lightsaber.
And that's what I liked about Bad Batch and the other cartoon anime one that was of the same nature. What was that other one? Bad Batch and I can't remember. It had BB-8 in it. No, it had Chopper in it.
Okay.
The android that looked like R2.
Yeah.
Those. But anyway, we could talk about Star Wars a lot. So what are other ones you got on your list?
Other ones on my list, I enjoyed most of the Matrix movies.
Mm-hmm.
There were parts here and there that kind of got a little stupid, but
Right.
My first dive into sci-fi movies was E.T.
Right.
Back when there was a Sears in Springfield, and it had a theater at the mall. Apparently, my mom took me when I was 2. And when I left, I was just screaming "E.T." repeatedly until she got me home. So, other than that, I'm looking at maybe Back to the Future 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Third got a little weird, but
the whole train thing.
Yeah, but Back to the Future 1 and 2 were both really enjoyable for me.
Great, yeah, awesome.
So that's roughly my top 10 list. So I had to have ET in there because that was my first one.
Right, and for me, there's so many I can name off, but for me, what got me into the sci-fi movies is a lot of those 70s ones.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Dune, Mad Max.
Yeah.
Some of the black and white ones.
Okay.
From like even the 30s and 40s that I like, because with movies, I like a lot of the black and white style of movies, because with being black and white, it makes everything so much more eerier and so much more intense for me. Whereas, because it's like, I know it's not a sci-fi movie, but it's a horror movie. Like, my favorite horror movie of all time is Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Now, they have a colorized version of it as well, right? But I love the black and white so much because it makes everything dark, and then when you see the zombies come at you, when the black and white, it's like it looks more eerier and it looks more creepier and stuff. Whereas with the color, it like gave away that eeriness and creepiness to me.
It looks like Corey has a few he wants to throw in there. The Fifth Element.
Yes, that's another good sci-fi one.
Movie. Then the OG.
Thank you, Corey. That's another one. I would say that one. As much as I love Dune, and those other ones I mentioned, that was the third one that I watched that I totally loved, was Flash Gordon. And that was a third one that I remembered that my dad was like, I was like affixed to the screen when I watched it in the movie theater. I'm sitting there like the whole time and seeing that hot chick in the you know, as a kid, seeing the hot chick in her outfit, and then the whole soundtrack to that is just genius because it's all Queen's music. So, with that said, I think we'll stop the show for now because unless Adam has another movie or two or toy or
Um,
video game that wasn't mentioned. And,
I mean, for me, when I think collectibles, I'm a sword guy.
right.
So things like, video game weapons, um,
Uh-huh.
those are always really cool to me.
Yeah.
I don't have any, but when you're on the income that 420 and I are on, those type of collectibles are kind of difficult to come by.
Or non-existent, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's another few that Corey mentioned. Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja. Oh, those are another of my favorites.
What about Beastmaster?
Yes, Beastmaster's another good one.
Mhm.
I mean, as cheesy as it is, the He-Man live-action one, I would consider a sci-fi movie because it was dealt with space and
Yeah.
magic, and so. Final thoughts for me are, I think it went well. It looked like we talked about 45 minutes on the video games alone.
Yeah.
So that
Oh, and
tells you,
I'm sure we could totally just keep going too.
we can keep going, but I at least want this show, hint, hint, for everybody out there, to be at least an hour for now. So, hey, we might have a show, we might not have a show about nerdiness.
Like,
You just got to stick around, check out the Facebook page because you never know. Because we're always about building this network and everything and whatnot. And the movies, again, I like Conan, the Star Wars, as Adam said. Voltron. Oh, yes, thank you. I cannot believe I forgot that one, Corey.
yeah.
That is my all-time favorite anime cartoon.
Yeah, I think Henry
Nonstop.
Cavill's in that, isn't he?
I don't remember. I just remember watching it as a kid. I remember having the Voltron toothbrush. No, it was one. It was one. It was the full Voltron,
Yeah.
and then you stuck the thing on it, and you push the button, and it would vibrate.
Okay.
And I know I have it in a box because I do remember still having it. But I actually have the full lion one where it has all the 5 lions that you can
Yeah.
hook up to make Voltron. So Corey says he is.
Yeah.
Live action one. Oh, and the Netflix one. Unless I'm wrong, the thing I didn't like about the Voltron, the Netflix version of Voltron, when they brought it back, 3-4 years ago, was it?
Well, no, they're making a new one like
Right.
now with Henry Cavill, so I don't know if they
Live
are
act-
already done it.
Anyway, my point being is, I was under the impression that Pidge was just a nerdy guy.
Yeah.
But in the Netflix version, Pidge is a girl.
Okay.
And in the princess's confidant, or whatever you want to call him, in the version that I'm used to, was a serious type of guy. Whereas in the Netflix version, he's this stupid guy that always screws up and over exaggerates and stuff. But it's one that that would be my hands down all time favorite movie, toy, and I think there's actually a video game but it's very rare.
Yeah.
So that's how it ties into all things we talked about today. And again, both of us will be back on Friday, tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, Sunday at 4.
Sunday at 4 for Mayhem's Amigos.
Yep.
And then if Rob decides to do a show, Adam will be on
Sunday around 8 to 9 for Weird Frequencies.
Weird Frequencies. And then both of us will be back together on Thursday night about 9.
Yep, around 9
for Mayhem's Amigos After Dark.
Yep.
And again, there's a bunch of racing going on today, so just check out your Facebook, internet, whatever. Like I said, there's Fairbury tonight for a bunch of dirt car racing. Specials, Spoon River today has motorcycle races, and then Highland Speedway down in Southern Illinois has a bunch of special races going on, and Peoria is closed. Or not closed, but canceled because we had a bunch of rain here. It flooded the track a little bit, and also there's a lot of power lost where they're at. So, and they're still without power, from what I gather. So, if there's anybody left in the chat, give us your final thoughts. And while we're waiting for that, what are your final thoughts, Adam?
I want to take a moment to thank our listeners, both here in the chat room, but also the ones that watch the replays. We appreciate that you guys enjoy what we're doing, both here at the Pit Stop or over on Amigos. If you guys like this type of show that 420 and I just did, please let us know.
And share the shows.
Yeah. TJ
groups and everything, and
TJ is hunting for ways for us to expand the network. So if you like this type of show, or you want to see what 420 and I can do with it, let us know.
Yes,
and this
message
could be
us,
a show.
Comment.
Yeah,
because it was a show we're thinking about, and that's why I said hint, hint.
Yeah.
So.
But
it's just a way we're wanting to expand the network, so.
Yeah, so please let us know. I don't know about 420, but I enjoyed, even the setup to get prepared for this show.
Right.
Was fun. And, 420 and I could keep going.
Yeah,
we much longer.
Right. And that's why we're mentioning having another show. So that way we can go longer. Because we don't mind talking about the nerdy stuff because, again, this is mental health. Because I like to talk about mental health. I can speak for myself and maybe a little bit for Adam. Nerdiness helps our mental health.
Yeah. Well,
it helps us not think of crap.
Talking about things you enjoy.
Yeah, talk about things we enjoy.
With other people who enjoy those things too can be a huge stress relief. Or it can at least help you forget the shitty stuff going on.
Exactly.
And it can give you a break mentally instead of experiencing a mental break.
And that's why I love dirt track racing, because it's somewhere I can go for 4 to 5 hours, not think about anything else except for what's in front of me.
Yeah.
And then when I come home, I think about it, but I'm a little bit more at peace with it because I actually got to do something fun to help me not think and dwell upon it.
Yeah.
And so anything else?
No, other than the fact that me and you could probably just talk about Skyrim for like days at a time.
Oh, yeah. And again, Steve was at some car show that he could have waited till after the show.
I hope he got pictures for the next episode of Pit Stop.
Right, that'd be really cool. We'll have to mention that to him. And as you've seen, Ty was on vacation with his family up in
I don't remember.
Wisconsin, I think he said. I think he went to the Dells.
Okay.
So, as you've seen, he at least showed up. With that said, yes, Corey, I do not know your answer to that. Sorry. But Highland is a track that I really super want to go to because one of my favorite dirt track late model drivers, Jason Fager, always touts about it all the time, and he does really good at that track. So for the Phat420's Pit Stop with Ty and Steve, I am, again, Phat420. That's producer Adam. Until next time, have a good time and hope to see you at the track.
Yep.
Goodbye, everybody.